Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Michael Chase, and I am here doing this live stream test, and we're going to be playing this game, Survive, wilderness survival game that I find to be really interesting. And what I also found to be really interesting is the ability that I can just sit here and do this from my phone, right from the YouTube gaming app. I've kind of been sitting here racking my brains, trying to figure out how to get back into doing some videos, doing some creative type things, and this is kind of going to be a test. Of course, I'm live streaming right now, which is also something I've never done before, so this is kind of a going to be a first. You can't see me, it's kind of dark in here, but the circle is there. Let's see, I can get some light. You can see my face for just a second, but it's dark, it's late, and I was sitting here watching a Resident Evil uh, live stream on YouTube, and I was just kind of thinking about something I could do to this effect. Yeah, okay. There's my face. We're not going to be showing my face. It's kind of dark, and it's like 4:30 in the morning, and I just woke up out of a dead sleep, and this is here what I'm doing. So we're going to play this game. Let's just get into it. Finally. It's taken me forever to even get to this. I think this is so cool. I really do. This game I've played, I don't know, quite a few hours. Probably like 5 to 10 hours total, and it gets better with every update. And it's just basically a hardcore, just it's not a very graphical intensive game, but it just really kind of gets your imagination going. Like, you don't have these great graphics to go by. You think of yourself surviving in the wild, basically. So why don't I just shut up for a minute and we can jump right into it. Okay, go to settings. Target frame rate. Put up to 60 frames per second. I don't know why it needs to be that way, because there's basically no graphics. It's just kind of text-based. A lot of it's text. But let's get into it. Oh, God. I can at least skip the video here. Angry Birds ad. Here's another one. Now you can see me. Whoa, looking pretty rough though. Yeah. Anyways. Okay, let's move my little circle here. Okay, we have Canoe River and Mountains, extremely difficult scenario, and a challenging scenario. Let's do the challenging scenario because the challenging ones are pretty difficult. In Camper or Survivor, we're going to choose Camper because it's a forgiving difficulty mode for new players. I'd say I'm not technically a wilderness expert. I know a little bit about nature and surviving in the wild. I do have some acquired skills, but not in this game. This game is a lot different than actually surviving in the wild, even though there are many elements that are similar. Okay, now you can select 2 starting gear items here, and then you get a random starting gear item. So you can start with an axe, flashlight, magnesium fire starter, backpack, outdoor knife. I'm gonna go with the magnesium fire starter. It's always important to have some sort of way to make fire. I do believe you start with some sort of food. But I'm gonna go with the heat pack because there have been instances in this game where I have frozen to death, and I wouldn't have if I would have had the heat pack. So let's go with the game scenario. Okay, loading shouldn't take too long. I don't have the most high-end phone here, but it's a Samsung Galaxy Sky, and it is one of the best phones I've ever had. It was only $200. It goes with the Straight Talk plan, and it's basically just a slimmed down, dumbed down Galaxy phone, and it really just kind of does the job. The only thing that I wish was better is the camera, but for $200, what can I say? At least I can do this. I can do this. Canoe River. I'm soaking wet. I went off route and my canoe capsized, but I managed to swim to the riverbank. Only way to get out is to the town on the east. So I'm all wet, and here I am, 2 hours of daylight remaining. I'm on the riverbank, and I'm 60 miles from safety. That's a long ways when you have nothing, basically. Okay, so right now I'm gonna say 2 hours of daylight remaining. So I would say we're gonna want to get some kind of a fire going. So you need tinder to start building a fire, of course. And in order to get tinder, you have to get wood. So I'm gonna collect wood for an hour. So now I've collected wood, and I'm going to make tinder from wood. Shave wood. I'm gonna shave it. I shaved some wood and got tinder. Now I can start my fire. You can use my magnesium fire starter, which takes 15 minutes, or I can start a fire using match. So apparently they gave me a match, and I haven't checked my inventory, but they think I got a match here. And as you can see, my body heat is at 28. So this is very important. Keeping warm in this game is so important. I can't even begin to tell you. Let's see if this works. Okay, I hear fire, so it must be we made fire. I feel like Tom Hanks from Castaway. I have created fire. Okay, so we got a small flame, about 17 minutes it's going to last. My body heat has not changed, but the hours haven't changed either. So we're going to stoke the fire. The fire burns an hour and 45 minutes. Okay, so we're obviously going to need more fire, but we're going to need a shelter, which I don't know as if you should build a fire first or a shelter. I would tend to want to have that fire if I was trying to survive in the wild. I would want that fire right first thing, especially if it's getting dark. It would be very difficult to build a shelter at this point, but I mean, we can try it. Building a lean-to in the darkness. See, failed to build shelter. It's too dark, so we don't have a shelter. So we're sitting here by the fire, and I don't know. Let's see what else maybe we can do. We got our body heat up. Our hydration is starting to get a little worse. Crafting. We can craft a walking stick. Don't know why I need to do that. Get water. All my water bodies are already full. Okay, we can check our inventory. Okay. So, in our inventory we have a cooking pot, a survival manual, outdoor clothing, and when you click on these, sometimes you can do stuff. Like the survival manual, you can, I thought at one point you could tear it up and use it for tinder. Maybe you can, just hitting turn the page here. Yep, you can tear it up. And now you can use the survival manual for tinder. So I have outdoor clothing, I have a trash bag, which I can use for different things. You can braid it to make rope. So I just braided it, I made it a piece of rope. And keep an eye on my energy. My energy is down here in the lower left is 952. My hydration 64. Body heat's 100, so we're good there. We got a wooden paddle for a canoe, which we can use to make a spear. So we have a wooden spear, and you can break it again to get more firewood, but we're not going to do that. We have our newspaper. We can also tear to make tinder. And yep, we do have a pack of matches. A pack of matches! It's always good to have. Do have a knife. We do have a fishing kit, which you need to open. Let's see. Rope. Piece of rope. Fishing hook. Okay, I have an empty can. I can break apart to get a cooking pot, but I already have a cooking pot. So that's our gear. We can go over here to food and water. We have a bottle of safe water, which is good because you can just reuse that. And 3 energy bars, a bottle of soda, smoked meat jerky, and squirrel juice. And a can of con. A can of con, man. Oh, that's good. You click on the can corn, you can eat that. It'll give me back 400 energy. I'm feeling hungry. I want some corn, so let's just do that. Let's eat our corn. Okay, now let's go back into our main menu, which I don't technically know how to do. Oh, because my circle's not there. Back button. That's a good button. I gotta keep moving my floating head here. And I'm sorry to the folks that want to see my face. It's dark, and I'm not going to turn on all the lights right now because this is basically just a test. Maybe next time we play again, we'll figure that out. Okay, I'm going to attempt to get more wood in the darkness. It's pitch black here. Found nothing but some rotten branches and threw them away. See, when it gets dark, you're pretty much screwed. You're pretty much not a whole lot you can do. Sometimes you can get away with it. Like here, I'm going to try to get wood again. So I got wood that time. You don't always get away with it. A lot of times you're just wasting energy and you're wasting everything. I can travel to another destination right now, which may be a good idea. As far as game-wise, as far as if this was a real-life situation, it's not a good time to travel. But it doesn't always equate. You're trying to get through this game here, which is a little bit different than surviving in the wild, I would say, because I'm sitting here in my bedroom and it's not very uncomfortable. So you can also explore, but I'm going to be exploring the area in the dark, of course. I couldn't find anything useful in the darkness. See, and remember at the beginning of the game it said I could take a flashlight? This would have been useful if I'm going to be roaming around at night here. See, my body heat has diminished to 16. And it's really rapidly going. So I need to get this fire going again. And I just saved my life. See, I didn't even notice that. I'm sitting there at 24, 26. I'm freezing to death, basically. And if you don't keep your eye on that body heat, you will die. And apparently it's very cold in this place that I'm in, where I need fire to stay alive. So I'm going to stoke that. It's going to go for 4 hours and 44 minutes. I don't have a shelter, but I can rest. And see, if you build your shelter, if you have your shelter already built, your heat, you don't lose heat quite as fast, or if at all, I think. So if I would have, I think that was my mistake. I think I should have built the shelter first. And then my body heat I wouldn't have lost so rapidly. So that may be good to know. If I was in an area that didn't have wood and stuff like that. But still, for me, I still think building a fire is number one. Before your actual shelter. If you disagree with that, feel free. I would love to talk about that because, I mean, you need to. You gotta have that fire, man. You gotta cook on it. You gotta stay warm. You gotta feel that comfort. You know. Okay, so I'm gonna try and go ahead and rest for 4 hours here. Recovered some energy. It doesn't give you a lot of energy when you do that. So I have 2 hours of darkness remaining. So I'm gonna rest 2 more hours. Not a whole lot I can do. Okay. Rest for another hour. Ah, birds! It's morning. It's morning, and I have rested an hour, and I feel better now. Okay. So, our body heat shouldn't go down quite so fast. Now I could stay here. Well, actually, I've got to keep an eye on my hydration here. So, we're going to go to our inventory, and I got to move my little circle. Go to food and water, and let's drink our bottle of water. And it's gone up. Our hydration has gone up a little bit. Let's try this squirrel juice, which will also give us some energy. And our bottle of soda, which also gives us energy and our hydration. So everything looks good there. Exploring lets you find items in certain things sometimes. Like I found a cattail plant and crickets. So that can be useful for crafting or other things. I can craft rope net bag. It's going to take me 3 hours. I don't actually know what that's for. But the goal here is I'm 60 miles from safety. See, if I go to the travel, it'll take me to the next destination, where I'm also trying to survive there. So I don't know if the best strategy is to stay here and stay in camp and try to build up your food supply for a while, or to travel on quickly. I don't know what the best strategy is yet. Like I said, I haven't played this long, and you also can't travel if you have too much weight. Like if you're carrying too much weight, you can't travel either. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to build a snare. And it says I need rope, 2 rope, bait. I currently have rope and no bait. Okay, now to make bait, I can come in here to my food and water, and I have crickets, and I can make bait out of those crickets. Okay. It says I have bad video settings. Let me try and fix that. I don't know what's going on. It just popped up you can see it. It probably records it. It says bad video settings. I don't know if you can see that or not, but that's what's came up. And it has went away. So I'm going to try and build the snare. So I'm going to need food at some point, right? Okay. 9 hours daylight remaining. Need a 4-pronged spear to spearfish. Let's do some exploring. I'm gonna grab a cigarette while this happens. See, I don't know why. I don't know why the settings came up like that. It's interesting to me. I don't know what you probably don't care on your end, but if you're watching this about it, but it's interesting to me because I like to know why these things are happening and how to fix them. Part of being I'm not so much of a geek anymore, but I was a pretty hardcore geek for about a 2-year duration. Not so much anymore. I find looking for my lighter here. Make sure we're still recording. Okay. So to spearfish, I need a 4-spear prong. I'm looking here. And a 4-pronged spear requires wood and rope. I have wood. Get some more wood. I don't remember that either. Okay. Our snare's built. Our shelter needs to be built. I'm building a lean-to. Perfectly good shelter, I would say. This way, we won't get so cold. I'm going to explore the area some more. Explore the area completely. I found unknown berries and bone. And sometimes these unknown berries make you incredibly sick. Or poisoned. Which is not a good place to be. 1 second. I don't smoke in the house because I have kids ages 6 and 7, so I don't want to smoke around them. Secondhand smoke is bad. It sucks. Shouldn't be smoking anyway. But I'm out here in the wild surviving, so I think I'm entitled to a cigarette. Okay. My body heat's good, hydration's good. Our snare is built, our shelter is built. I filled empty bottles with unsafe water, which I can later use to boil. Actually, I'm going to do that right now. But I filled my empty bottles with water. Now I can boil the water. Now I have fresh water. It's very important in this game. Purified all my unsafe water. Now I have 3 bottles of purified water. You're not going to stoke the fire because it's daytime. I'm going to go to the crafting menu. gonna build my 4-prong spear and try to do some fishing here. Okay, do some spear fishing. No luck this time. Oh, my battery's dying. That probably doesn't help the video quality. I don't even know how the video quality is gonna be, to be honest. But let's give this a shot. We're plugged in, and there you go. Spear fishing again. I caught a small fish. That's pretty good. That makes me happy. I caught another small fish. Yep, it sounds like it's nighttime. We're gonna go ahead and build our fire. And I did remember to get wood earlier, so we're gonna camp out here again another night, I think. Let me make sure this fire is gonna burn a while. Looks good here. Okay. I think I can craft. My energy is getting very low, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cook my food. Go to my inventory. Go to my small red fish. I'm going to gut it. Now this will spoil. So I could eat it right now, it'll give me 400 energy. So I'm going to cook it instead. Or I can dry it and I can save it for a little bit longer, but we're going to eat it right now because our energy is getting low. We'll go to the fire. Usually you can cook the raw meat. I guess I can't. See, with other things you can, when I did this before, you could just cook the whatever you caught. Let's see. I have edible fish meat, so I cannot cook it like I can other foods. Okay, that gave me 400 energy. Eat another one. And my energy's back up to about halfway again. The fire is burning nice. And it looks like we're going to survive another night. See what I can do with these cattail plants. Actually, I can harvest. Oh, now you can eat the plant part. Okay, so that's good. I'm gonna eat an energy bar just to get my energy, because you start out about half energy anyways. Looks like I got a dead hare. This is what I can cook. So yep, it says triggered. I got a dead hare, so I can go cook this now. I can cook it or I can smoke it. I'm gonna cook it because I'm gonna eat it right away. I go back, go to my inventory, and food, water. I should have cooked rabbit in there. Chunk of meat cooked, which will give me 400 energy also. Okay, so we'll eat that. So this is, I'm gonna go back and cook some other pieces of meat. So I got 2 more. I'm gonna get my energy way up high. There, now I have almost full energy, body heat, and hydration is looking okay. I'll drink 1 bottle of water. Okay, and that's probably going to do it for this video. I just wanted to give this a good test, show you how this game's built, you know, kind of play along with me, listen to me while I sit here at the wee hours in the morning playing this game. I hope to do more videos like this, whether they're live streamed or previously recorded. I think this is pretty fun. and a good way for me to get back creating things. It's been a long time. I used to be a vlogger, which took a lot of my time, and in between raising 2 kids, it really wore me out amongst a whole lot of other life changes. But I think this is a good way to kind of get my creative juices and energy flowing. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.